Hello all you magnificent people, Durpo the Magnificent here, and today we're gonna be talking again. Yay, boring. Anyway, so, if you haven't noticed, Terraria it hasn't been around for a while. I'm assuming most of you know why, but just in case you don't, we're going to be talking about that. Basically, in this video, I'm just gonna be going over, what the future playthroughs on the channel are going to look like. So, there's a link in the description which will take you to a couple of straw polls, one for voting for the next Terraria series and one for voting for the next secondary series, because if you didn't know, I typically try and run 2 playthroughs at the same time, a Terraria playthrough and then just some other game. So, if you don't want to hear any explanation or whatever, just go in the description, you'll see the titles or whatever, just vote for something, whatever you think sounds interesting. If you want me to actually explain things, then stick around, because that's what I'm going to be doing. So, as I said in the beginning, there has been a massive lack of Terraria videos, and that's because most of the mods I was using are all out of date and need to be updated and stuff. I covered this in the previous news video, and I said I was probably going to just cut the series or something, or I don't know, maybe it would just take a really long time for it to get back. I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut it. The mods aren't really going to update anytime soon, and honestly, the series itself was just kind of a big mess. The amount of mods that I had, it wasn't working out. There was just so much stuff, and I didn't take into account how long I would actually have to wait whenever Terraria updated. So, honestly, I think that series is dead. I'm very sorry. I know a lot of people kind of liked it. But one of the things I'm going to be discussing in this video is a replacement Terraria series, because, well, you know, I started this channel on Terraria. I said Terraria would be around for as long as I was around, and I kind of want to honor that. So, I got 2 ideas for another Terraria playthrough. First option for the next Terraria playthrough is just a regular old vanilla mage playthrough. This would just be me playing through the regular Terraria progression with only magic weapons and items and stuff like that. So I've done a yo-yo playthrough, I've done a ranged playthrough, but I haven't done a mage playthrough, at least on video yet. So, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't really care about mods. Maybe mods are oversaturated in the whole YouTube game. Maybe all the YouTubers are doing mods, and you just want to see vanilla again. Maybe. I don't know. So that's the first option, just a regular old vanilla mage playthrough. And the second option will be a Calamity playthrough. So, if you don't know, Calamity is one of the mods that I was using in the giant modded series. And I kind of think it's, like, I want to see more of Calamity. I didn't really get to see very much of it because of where the modded playthrough was cut off, and I want to see more because I don't know, I really liked Calamity. And the main problem with the original modded series was that there were just far too many mods. There was no way I was really going to see all of it. So I think if I focus it down to just one mod, there should be much shorter gaps between episodes when Terraria updates, because we only have to wait for 2 things to upload. Only have to wait for 2 things to update Calamity and Team Mod Loader. If we do the Calamity, if we do either of these playthroughs, they're both going to be in expert mode, because I believe easy mode's for chumps. And then for the Calamity playthrough, there's 4 sub-options. The first sub-option for the Calamity playthrough is just no limits, just regular, just go in there and play through the Calamity mod. And then the other 3 options are melee only, ranged only, and magic only limitations for the Calamity mod. Now, there's a couple of pros and cons to having limitations, so let's start with the cons. The cons of the limitations is that I'm going to be playing this in expert mode, meaning having limitations could make things really hard. Calamity mod is already a really difficult mod, and then throwing expert mode in there, that makes it even harder. And it might just push me over the edge and make it impossible if I add limitations. I don't really know. I haven't played much of the mod, as you guys know. So that's kind of the only con to limitations. But the pros to limitations are, if I have limitations, I can focus more on just a specific small amount of content. So, like I said, in the original modded series, there was just so much stuff, I couldn't focus on any of it. I had, pretty much every episode that I recorded of the original modded series, there was at least, 15 entire minutes completely dedicated to just looking at new stuff. And I was always able to cut it down to, 5 minutes. But that's still a long time. 5 whole minutes of just looking at new stuff is ridiculous. So I feel like not only cutting it down to one mod, but cutting it down to just one damage type and item type would just really help focus and, I guess, speed up the whole process. I don't really think having a shorter series is what you guys would prefer, but I guess that would be a side effect of it. And the other pro of having limitations is that I think, at least in my opinion, it would be a much more interesting series to watch, because it would be more challenging. More challenge equals more interest, at least in my opinion. I don't know. I am fine with either one. I would not mind doing a limited Calamity playthrough. I wouldn't mind doing a non-limited Calamity playthrough. Just, it's all up to you guys. So, go ahead and vote on those. Those are the two options. Either Vanilla Mage playthrough, Expert, of course, or Calamity playthrough, specifically no limits, melee, ranged, or magic. So, yeah. That's the Terraria options out of the way. Now on to the secondary playthrough options. Now, I've only come up with two, at least at the moment. I don't know. We'll talk about that. So the first option is a game called Guacamelee, which is a side-scrolling 2D platforming beat-em-up Metroidvania type thing. And I don't know, it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. I have played it through to completion a couple times, and it's a fun game. I think it would be a fun little game to do a series on. Mostly because all of the characters in the game speak through text, which means I would get to do a whole bunch of really stupid voices, and, well, I was about to say I know how much you guys enjoy that, but I honestly don't. I don't know if you guys enjoy me doing stupid voices, but, you know, so that's kind of the main attraction of the Guacamelee playthrough. None of you really know what it is. I guess if I remember to, there's some footage of it playing in the background right now. That's kind of the general gist of what the gameplay sort of looks like. So, I don't know, that's the first option for a playthrough. Second option is a Dark Souls 3 co-op playthrough. I haven't quite decided who I'm going to do it with. Probably, I'm leaning towards Sir Lord Buckets. He was in a couple older videos of mine, the Duck Game video, and I think an old TF2 video. He might have been in another one. Ah, yes, he was in the Kermit the Frog Plays Overwatch video. That's right. The red text guy. No. I don't remember what color his text was. Either way, he was in that video. So yeah, I was thinking probably do just a co-op playthrough of that, because I really enjoy Dark Souls 3. I've been looking for an excuse to play it again, and it would just be a grand time. Now, a couple of things is I have played both of these games, Dark Souls 3 and Guacamelee, to completion multiple times each, so there won't really be any surprises, and Lord Buckets has also played through Dark Souls 3 to completion multiple times, so there's not really going to be any surprises to either of us. It won't be a blind playthrough by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't know if that's kind of a downside for y'all, but just thought I'd mention that. If you asked me which I'd prefer for these two series, I think I'd probably prefer Guacamelee simply because it's easier. If I do a co-op playthrough, then suddenly I have to take into account for a whole second person, and I can't record every single night like I would prefer to or whatever. I mean, I don't already, but I don't know. It's just slightly more difficult to set up a schedule for recording or stuff like that. Maybe I'll have to start recording in bulk or something. I'm not really sure how all that would work. But it'd be an interesting challenge, and I'd like to see how it would work out, because it would, if we do it well, then it could open up the possibility for more co-op playthroughs in the future. So that would be kind of nice. So just, I guess, go vote on those, Guacamelee or Dark Souls 3 co-op. I'm also going to put a third option in there. Actually, no, I don't think I will put a third option in the actual poll itself, but I'm going to announce a third option here, and that third option is, if you have an idea for a game that I should do a full playthrough of, please let me know down in the comments, because, I don't know, these are the only two ideas I could really come up with. I know neither of them are really going to be crowd pleasers, but I think they would both be really fun and really entertaining. Hopefully. So, but if you don't think that, if you think you have a game that would be far more entertaining to watch, then please let me know. Now, I will say, I'm not making any guarantees that I will absolutely play any game that you suggest for a playthrough. For one thing, I'm really low on money at the moment. Like, if it's not a game I own, I certainly can't do it, which I know is unfortunate, but that's just kind of how that goes. So, yeah, but if you got something, let me know. Anyway, I have rambled on for far too long now. Go vote on whatever playthrough you want. Anyway, that is it for this little talkative, rambly video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope y'all have a magnificent day. Derpo the Magnificent out.